Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of STSL Off the Track. It is now, I don't even know what week we're in, but we're now at the beginning of August, actually, which we got to talk about a few shows that happened this last weekend. But before we get to that, of course, we got to introduce tonight's co host, that being Nafajan.
Yeah, that's right. Glad to be back. I know we've taken a few days off, but we're back to talk about some more Monster action and what's to come in the new month because it's August now.
Yeah, that's right. And a stadium show we have to review with a new debuting truck that we saw over the weekend. Here, I'll stance my mic a little bit away from me so it doesn't feedback from your audio. But a lot of things have happening lately, especially in the world of sports. That's where we're gonna go off first. So now, what's going on in there?
Yeah, there's quite a few things going on in the sports world, especially since football season is around the corner. And I know you NFL fans are excited for the new season. But this isn't really news, but I thought this was funny as Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis decided to go out on a limb and say, quote, there are not 32 quarterbacks in this league better than me. And yeah, that was quite an interesting comment. And the Instagram account All Sports Culture, they decided to say, we agree. Here are 45 quarterbacks that are better than Will Levis. And of course, they name Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, yada, 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 while also naming people like Tyler Huntley, Jackson Dart, Malik Willis, Fernando Mendoza, who hasn't even played yet. It's quite comedic, but I mean, Will Levis, you're the second string quarterback. There's a lot more that are better than you. But step it up, and maybe you'll be able to prove your point. But now on to actual news. The Philadelphia Sixers, aka Left Philadelphia List Sixers, as LeBron James is officially a Philadelphia 76er, started with Cleveland, went to Miami, back to Cleveland, to the Lakers, and now he is possibly with the team that he's going to retire with, the Philadelphia 76ers, on a 2-year deal, only $8 million in total. So it's clear he's not going for the money. He's just doing it for the love of the game. That's why we love LeBron James, already the most tenured player in NBA history. He might be going for 25 seasons by the time that contract is over. And I just want to bring Lane in here on this because I don't think you've gotten to speak about this signing between the Sixers and LeBron James. So the news finally out. What are your reactions?
We are not the Nuggets. That's the sad part. But I mean, it is what it is. To the Sixers, they're a stacked team. They have Jalen Brown. They also have Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid. Uh, they're a pretty stacked team overall. Adding LeBron into the mix, so can't wait to see what's going on this next 2 seasons.
Yeah, very interesting to see that he left Bronny back in Los Angeles. But wish LeBron the best of luck in this possible final chapter in his NBA career. It's already been storied Hall of Fame, but let's see if he and the Sixers can go for one more championship. But that's a story for another day. But now let's take a look at some NASCAR action as yesterday. Actually, no. Let's see. We already had the Brickyard 400. So, oh, it looks like the NASCAR Cup Series was on a bye week. But let's see, did they have some racing this past weekend? Looks like no. It's going to be an off. It's been a bye week, so the next race is going to be in Iowa Speedway. That's going to be the Iowa Corn 350 powered by ethanol. Yes, that is the actual name of the race. And a pretty important race in that because NASCAR is actually approaching the chase for the cup. Glad it's not just named the playoffs anymore. So a lot of drivers, of course, will be trying to make one last push to make it into that 16 car field to compete for the NASCAR Cup Championship. And last thing for sports, and I'll bring Lane on this as well, as just recently was the WWE SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota, hosted at US Bank Stadium, of course, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. So, have you gotten to check this out, and what are some of the results possibly that might have surprised you, or what were the big takeaways from
Um, I saw night one. I thought night one was pretty decent. If I remember, okay, trying to remember the exact order, but there's a few things that I did like out of night one. Uh, the first one being is the Brock Lesnar Oba Femi match. It was absolutely cinema. Third one and the rivalry, and it looks like it was the final one for Brock Lesnar, as it seems like it's going to retire, which could have been fitting in his hometown in front of thousands of crowds in Minneapolis. Um, that main event was great. It was that like literally peak cinema. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship was great. Uh, there was a few things here and there. I wish they would move the program on after SummerSlam, and it looks like they might, unless if they do a best of three, which they always do. But a few things here. Cody Rhodes came out in Street Fighter Guile inspired gear, since he is playing that character in the upcoming Mortal Kombat Street Fighter movie I believe in September, I think.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah, so he came out to that, which was pretty. I mean, it was kind of cool. And then CM Punk also came out to a tribute to the Minnesota North Stars colors, I think it was. Uh, I think the more religious sports fans and wrestling fans will know more about what I'm talking about here. They know probably exactly what I'm talking about. But either way, and that match, the Viper Randy Orton came back to deliver an RKO to Cody Rhodes, who he lost back at WrestleMania. So it looks like the program is going to be next between Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, and then of course CM Punk got to successfully defend the championship. Uh, the Bell Twins and Paige had a match against Fatal Attraction. Of course, not a whole lot I could really say about. It was a decent match. It was just there. Fatal Attraction, of course, came out on top, and it proves that the next up and coming stars in the women's division, especially the tag team divisions, it's been on a struggle lately. Both the Raw and SmackDown brands. Fatal Attraction is here to make a statement, and they went on to defeat Team Page and the Bella Twins, of course, at the end. To anyone's surprise, they're it's the same as always. Literally, you could say this was 10 years ago, and they would actually believe it. The Bella Twins, of course, betray Paige after she took the pin, but we'll see what goes on from there. The Bella Twins just was there, I guess. I know one person that likes them will be like, "God, don't talk trash about them." I'm sorry, it's true. They're not bad, but it keeps getting repetitive. It's old and stale. Next up, actually, the match before that was LA Knight's Solo Dolo Sikoa and Royce Keys up against the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Great match, actually. I kind of did like it. I did see a few things here or there. The one thing I really liked out of here was LA Knight and Solo Sikoa, especially Solo Sikoa now having the charisma of The Rock. Uh, as a I think it's kind of confusing. They're either he's right now as a heel or as a face, but the way the crowd is recepting off him, it tells he's a face right now. He's having an absolute blast being a face right now. He's having more comedic timing. He stole Jay Uso's yeet moment off him in front of him too, which was funny. But Solo Sikoa is, as a face and with the absolute great charisma, similar to the Rocks, this dude's gonna go far. LA Knight, he's been on a weird roller coaster in terms of getting a push. He's been getting a push, but he's not going. He's somehow not getting far enough, and it's not his fault. It's more Triple H's fault. But we'll see what leads up for LA Knight. He's been involved mostly against the Bloodline a lot. And of course, Royce Keys still freshly new into the scene. Uh, a lot of people are familiar with him as Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW, but he did great as well in that match. But of course, LA Knight Solo and Royce Keys got to defeat the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Other than that, I think that's as much as I remember. For night two, I did hear a few things here. Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship from Penta. I did not get to see the Roman Reigns match, which, yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I didn't get to see night two, but I did see Roman Reigns successfully retains against Seth Rollins once again. Uh,
Yes.
there's been a lot of memes regarding as to that match because once again, Seth Rollins comes out to a Shield entrance, but tricks it, switches it into his actual entrance. But the one thing everybody's been joking on here is the Shield itself. The Shield was a stable back in the early 2010s up until 2014, and they were an absolute team back then. They were awesome with Dean Ambrose. But as years go on, when he did it in 2022, it was cool. When it came out to Royal Rumble 22 against also Roman Reigns in that match, it was cool. He actually wore Shield gear for that one. The other thing is that now, 4 years later, it is also kind of old and stale. It's like we get it. They were the Shield. The Shield was this and that. The Shield was the Shield. But it's also like it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Yes, they were former Shield members, but it's like you got to use a new narrative here. It's not just they were the Shield. Shield moves all this moveset. They got to do something new with it, especially Michael Cole. He's getting annoying. He's getting really annoying with it. But other than
Right.
that's as much as I remember, really. Oh yeah, also big one. The one that I liked out of night two actually. So um last month, Rhea Ripley announced that she is injured. She is also the current WWE Women's Champion. So and for unusually for WWE, sometimes they vacate that title and they have a match, a contenders match or something, and it goes on to the next person who wins. This time around, they did an interim uh, women's championship match, a ladder match in that case. I don't remember all who was in that match, but I do know the winner, and I couldn't have been more proud of her. It is Chelsea Green. I'm really proud for that woman. She really deserves some of it, even though it's an interim championship. It's better than nothing at all. She's been insanely over with the crowd. She's getting a good push, and you know she definitely deserves her flowers here. I'm really glad she got the championship. For now until Rhea comes back in, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, a big, huge event for WWE hosting another year of SummerSlam. And in terms of the next big WWE event, and coming off August 30th, that's NXT Heatwave, but that's NXT. There's Sunday Night Main Event in Atlanta, Worlds Collide, September 26th in Rosemont, Money in the Bank, and Survivor Series still yet to come.
Yeah, we still got half the year left in terms of pay per views. However, well, we don't have half the year left. We only have actually a month and a half left in this current season. It is the MLB season, and right now, a lot of things happen in the MLB trade deadline. Which the number one thing going on right now was that the Los Angeles Dodgers acquired Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers. They get him, and the Tigers get Zaire Hope, outfielder, River Ryan, and Brady Smith, uh, both right hitting pitchers. So, and I mean, it's a huge trade. I can't lie, it is absolutely huge. The one thing that I guess everyone's not looking forward to, the MLB lockout could actually happen if the Los Angeles Dodgers do happen to win this year's World Series again, because they're paying an insane amount for these players just to become a super team. So it's like, is it ridiculous? Yes. Is it history defining? Also, yes. Like, it's crazy to see this because they're getting great players left and right since the beginning of actually not even since the beginning of this season, since the off season last year. So we'll see what happens. The lockout is on the horizon. If things go through and the Dodgers do win again, which what do you think on that? I know there was a lot of trades that happened recently as well.
Yeah, I haven't been really paying that much attention to the trades, but the idea of a lockdown is quite serious, actually. I mean, let's take a look here. I mean, so does that mean that like players cannot like move to other teams or just stop playing in general? Is
So
that kind of like the implication?
so the lockout pretty much means they will stop playing. They will have to reach an agreement as for whatever the situation is going on. I know we were here last couple of years ago. I can't remember exactly what for, but this time around, it's about the budget that Los Angeles has on. They're getting more and more richer as they go, and they have the insane amount of money to get all these players to be unstoppable. So I guess it's kind of like the protest of like, yeah, we're not playing if the Dodgers stop doing this, right? So it's like it's something that I've been hearing about pretty much since the beginning of the season.
Jeez, man, the LA Dodgers always got to be causing some trouble.
Yeah, I mean they have Shohei, Freddie Freeman. They also have all these players I can't name off my head, but yeah, it's insane.
And not to mention they're most likely the front runner for the National League. They're, I guess, half a game behind the Milwaukee Brewers for the 1 seed, but still.
Yeah. Well, in time will tell. We're still a month out from the playoffs, but
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a late entry here. Everybody, welcome Dorzy to the show.
What's up?
Glad he can join us,
yeah,
buddy.
glad you came on. We're gonna talk about Foxborough real soon, actually.
Yeah, it was a time.
Yeah, we'll get to that
The
soon.
show.
But I think that'll be it as for Sports World. I mean, Dorsey joined at a better time. But let's see what shows we had this past week. And now I have to go back all the way back to the spreadsheet. Says I was not that ready.
Gotta love our Google Sheets created by Monster Truck Daily and more for all the lineups in all the events, especially full throttle events, hosting 10 shows a week. Literally.
All
This
right.
past weekend, they hosted 10 shows.
So starting off with Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live in Chicago, Illinois, of course, with the East Coast tour. Cameron Tweedy was driving Bigfoot. We also had Houston, Texas, was the West Coast tour. Also Hot Wheels. Monster X Tour in Grants Pass, Oregon, with Carolina Crusher, Paul Craighead, Rampage, James Owens, Werewolves, Fanel Hernandez, and Wild Thing, Brandon Leach. Cookeville, Tennessee, with the Monster Truck Bash, with Public Nuisance, Corey Levy, Psychotic, Kane Waldron, and USA 1, Paul Strong. Costa Mesa, California, for the Kicker Monster Truck Show. We had Clean Boost, Jonathan Elkins, Dragon Slayer, Caden Morris, Geronimo Reincarnated Rob Poutre, Hellbilly Tim Manchester, Pretty Obsessed with Misha and Eric Swanson, and of course Wicked Strong with Jacob and Brandon Galley. Oregon, Illinois with full throttle monster trucks, and I think I heard, yeah, Novigin say they were in a lot of these towns this last week. So going off with this most recent one on Sunday, Oregon, Illinois with Against the Grain, Brad Shepard, American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot, Roger Gager, Stomper, Dalton Vansky, Marysville, Ohio, Blockhead, Logan Vessels, Dirt Crew, Tommy Verlone, Dirt Crew, Dozer, William Beck, Maximus, Zach Hendricks, new driver, Metal Monster, Shane Grunseth, Rensselaer, interesting name, Rensselaer, I guess, Indiana, American Outlaw, Brandon Overmeyer, Bigfoot, Thomas Borders, Metal Monster, Shane Grunseth, Ray Bessus, Powertrain, Jasmine Borders, Relentless, Chris Rogers, Leadington, Missouri, American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot, Thomas Borders, Metal Monster, Shane Grunseth, Ray Bestos, Powertrain, Jasmine Borders, and Public Nuisance, Corey Lady, Brownston, Indiana, American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Bigfoot, Roger Gager, Dirk Cruz, William Beck, Maximus, Logan Vessels, Monkey Business, Thomas Borders, Ray Bestos, Jasmine Borders, and Stomper, Don Danskog. Oh my god, and the last one from Full Throttle, Mount Vernon, Ohio, Bigfoot, Roger Gager, Blockhead, Logan Vessels, Tommy Verlone, and Dirt Crew, and those are William Beck, and Maximus Tim Azentis, aka Mullet. Also, one thing to note here, Thomas Borders received a new body for Bigfoot, and of course the Bigfoot #8 Racing Stripes body, very classic, very classic body that you know is nice to see in the modern day. Renegade Monster Trucks in Petersburg, West Virginia. Jurassic Attack, Preston Collins. Shredder, Zane Ritu. Stinger Unleashed, CJ Ritu. And Velociraptor, Preston Perez. Monster Truck Invasion in Front Royal, Virginia. Black Stallion, Mike Waters. Higher Education, Chris DeHoyos. Iron Warrior, Richie Yatsko. That's a name we have not seen in a while. New truck, with Mike Garrett. This one's just a plain blue truck, as far as I've seen. I think I've heard about this. And
Yeah,
then,
it's just a blue Ford or a Chevy pickup.
yeah.
That's all it is.
And then Overkill Evolution, Mike Waters Jr. Performance Motorsports in Winchester, Virginia. Bad News Shuttle Spaz, Brendan Durrell, Hurricane Force, Stephen Thompson, Plain Hooky, J.R. Seasock, and Virginia Giants, Cliff Valley. Spanish Fork, Utah. Full Contact Racing with the Team Throttle in here with Kamikaze, Bam Christensen, Eric Swanson, and Obsessed, Rocco Red, Alex Barton, Velociraptor, Carson Williams, and Vendetta, Mike Christensen. Painesville, Ohio, for the Monster Trucks Unleashed, Crime Time, Brittany Ames, Culture Shock, Daniel Ames, Hot Seat, Kurt Kramer, Ram Demption, Mark Hall. They switched teams. And War Wizard, RJ Turner. Post Falls, Idaho, for the Malicious Monster Truck Tour with Elbows Up, Joe Briggs, Identity Theft, Ben Blackburn, Mixed Up, Gavin Sell, Rockstar, Nick Jones, and Tristan Hammock, and Spitfire, Nick Jones. Full Throttle, once again, 2 more shows in Valparaiso, Indiana. American Outlaw, Brandon Overmeyer, Bigfoot, Roger Gager, Logan Vessels, Blockhead, Country Strong, Eric Howe, Dozer, Tommy Veralone, and Maximus, Zach Hendricks. And then Goshen, Indiana. A lot of Indiana shows. American Outlaw, Brandon Overmeyer, American Scout, Colton Kaiser. We had 2 Bigfoots in the house with Roger Gager and Thomas Borders driving. Country Strong, Eric Howe, Ray Bell's Powertrain, Jasmine Borders, and Stomper, Don Danskog. Avondale. Which province is this?
I think it's Newfoundland and Labrador.
Okay. All right. So we have the Napa Auto Parts World Series of Monster Trucks. Of course, with Bounty Hunter Jimmy Crean, Jackal and Hyde Corey Kino, King Sling Jeremiah Peraz, Roland Rex, Mike Nugent, Don Crean, Scarlet Bandit, Shark Bite Dan, The Man, Dogrin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extreme Jim Pigeon. Springfield, Missouri, with the MAP Motorsports with Barbarian Devin Jones, Overboard Deidre Ballard. Deidre Ballard? All right. Tailgater Tim Jones. Oh, actually, we'll talk about Deidre here in a little bit. Tailgater Tim Jones. I almost said Tim Gator. Yeah, imagine Tim Gator, Tail Jones. Twisted Addiction, Trip Jones, and Wildside Zach Garner. I know we also seen another Wildside out in Florida this last weekend as well. Hall Bros Racing in Urbana, Illinois with Against the Grain, Brad Shepard, American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Hot Sea, Kurt Kramer, Lone Eagle, Brandon Pizzo, Ram Dempsey, Mark Hall, and Raminator, Dana Gosh. Ransomville, New York for the Versus Monster Trucks. So lineup included Banyas Shovels Fast, Brandon Durrell, Crest Station, Zach Wickenbach, Hurricane Force, Stephen Thompson, Joe Flywish, Jordan Healy, Loud and Dirty Perry Como, Lumberjack, Zach Greg Wakenbach, and Rat Nasty Ryan Como. Holland, Michigan for the Monster Truck Throwdown, as they had Frontier Truck Parts, Elliot Miller, Chucky Pocken, The Haymaker, Mason Rife, Psycho Circus, Athena Kozel, Lomas Madness, Jacob Ladwick in Ride Attack, and Terminal Velocity, John Zimmer Jr. And Grays Lake, Illinois also saw Throwdown with Frostbite, Kylie Kentz, Chucky Pocken, Haymaker, Lomas Madness, Athena Kozel, Ride Attack, Terminal Velocity, and John Zimmer. Was Junior doing double?
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know if that's a mistake or this was actually part of the show. Him doing double with Uproar as well. So I don't know if that's a mistake, but we'll go off that. Uh, they make these guys. They make the lineups here, not me. Monsters and Megas in West Lebanon, New York. With Axe, Joe Foley, Kraken, Nick Pagarulo, Crazy Train, Tryon Robbins, Mayhem, Chris Kohler, Misfire, Brooks Pagarulo, Plain Crazy, Montana Robbins, Raminator, Dana Gosh, Raising Cane, also Joe Foley, as Axe was broken, and Virginia Giants was a Cliff Vowel. Looked like a great time there. I know our buddy Mac Bullock Mac was up there.
I was supposed to be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to the Saturday show, and things came up, so I unfortunately couldn't.
All right. Well, it looked like a fun time. Adventures Racing also was there. But the jam shows we had this past week, and we'll start off with Savannah, Georgia, as one of the most recent shows. For this lineup, we had Armando Castro, El Torloco, Mike Pagrillo, Excalibur, Charlie Pock, and Gravedigger taking over for Kristen Anderson as for the week prior. This was purely lucky as she crashed into a tunnel that was also blocked off with tarps, but lucky it was well spaced out and didn't hit any building at all. So no building damage for Kristen Anderson, but they did have to pull her out as it does count as out of bounds and a slap on the wrist as for Anderson, I guess. But it was great to see Charlie Pocket back in the Gravedigger team. As funny enough, he actually got to compete against his old team, that being Excalibur. We also saw Tony Oaks, JCB Diggertron, Matt Pagarillo with Jester, Gary Shaw Jr., yes, the driver of Hooligan, driving Overboard this last weekend, Caleb Blood, Sparkle Smash, and Dalton Weiner in his second weekend with Wildside. So we'll go over the results from this show.
I can go over the results for you if you like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just to give you a breather. And actually, before we do go off the results here, there was something I did want to bring up from a past show this weekend. Y'all thought that the Monster Truck Insanity Tour built the worst backflip ramp of all time. What in the world was Versus Monster Trucks doing? Building a literal, like, collapsible contraption. I think you guys might have seen it as well. And Joe Fly, out of all trucks, went for a backflip and absolutely failed. Did you guys see that?
I did, yeah.
I don't think so.
Because Mac Bulldog Mac, I think he posted a video about it. But yeah, he went up to it and it just did not get any rotation whatsoever. Don't ever build a backflip ramp like that again. But anyways, time for the results here. So here we go. 5 events in Savannah, Georgia, so bear with me. Friday evening in JCB Racing, it was Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, getting the win over Dalton Widener and Wildside. El Toro Loco also gets the Skills Challenge win. JCB Digatron gets freestyle, but overall, by 3 points, is Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. Moving on to Saturday, your racing winner is Gravedigger, defeating Sparkle Smash. Excalibur gets the two-wheel skills challenge, awesome maneuvers in that run. El Toro Loco gets the freestyle win, and by 1 point over both Excalibur and JCB Digatron, Gravedigger Charlie Plotkin gets the overall event championship. Moving on to Saturday night, your racing winner there is Wildside defeating Sparkle Smash. JCB Digatron gets the skills competition, Gravedigger with freestyle, and your overall winner is the Knoxville man, Dalton Weiner with Wildside, getting that overall event championship. Good for him. Moving on to Sunday afternoon, El Toro Loco sweeps everything. Racing, skills, and freestyle. A perfect 24 for Armando Castro. Moving on to Sunday night, Wildside gets another racing win this weekend, this time over Gravedigger. El Toro Loco wins the two-wheel skills competition in freestyle, and that is enough by a point to take home the overall event championship. So 3 overalls this weekend for Armando Castro. Quite impressive.
Yeah, great week from Savannah. A lot of things have happened. Even a fight broke out. If y'all seen that.
Did you see the crash with Excalibur landing on top of Overboard?
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah, that
Pagarillo, you're
race.
fired.
Oh, Oh man, that was wild, and I actually watched it live. And in my head, I'm like, oh no, he's done for the whole show, and he somehow made it back for skills,
Yeah,
and then wins.
a lot happened in Savannah this last week, and I can tell you that like literally so much happened. Even on the Sunday show, Sparkle Smash was broken literally almost throughout the entire show. Misses out racing, misses out skills. There it comes out for skills, but it was also still broken. Right as it was coming out, so they pulled her out. And then she comes out for freestyle all with a body, mind you. In skills, she came out without a body. In freestyle, she comes with a body. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
like so much happened in Savannah. It was crazy. Even like I said, a fight broke out. I don't know when, but yeah,
Savannah's on a different level.
Savannah is something else, man. We even told the guys, hey, go do us a favor, go punch your neighbor. But anyway, don't do that. Yeah, that Savannah was a time. It looked yeah, just a lot what was going on there. But next up, we're going over the just a few days earlier for a Thursday jam. A Thursday jam.
Yeah.
How did we all
Yeah,
feel about that? Like I watched the show and it felt like a Saturday to me just watching.
it was weird. I'll tell you that because I had to get up for work the next day,
Yeah,
and I
Monster
left work
Truck's on a
early to go to the
Thursday.
show.
Yeah, right after having some World Cup games, you got your truck jam on a Thursday.
Not only that,
Weirdest stuff since 2020 and 2021, of course.
not only that, the actual reason for that is apparently there is a BTS concert going to happen in the next couple of days at Foxborough. And from what I heard, the seating arrangement will take him days to finish. So that's why they probably have to do it on a Thursday. Not only that, the
The
weather
funny
had
thing is,
yeah.
I am going to the BTS concert
Nice.
Yeah, apart from
just
that,
because of my mom.
oh okay, all right. Have a nice time then.
I probably won't.
You're like, what are they saying? But apart from that, of course, of course, it couldn't have been a Foxborough show without some rain coming in. Of all days,
Dun
of
dun
all times,
dun.
Dorsey couldn't have been any more mad about that. But it's also a Mac Bullock, Mac Hurst that storms happen again. How do we feel about that, Dorsey?
I will give credit is that it didn't rain the entire time. It went on and off all day. It didn't rain for more than 10 minutes at a time. So it wasn't terrible. And I heard from a lot of the drivers before the show that they did something to this dirt. And apparently it worked because I thought the show was so much better than what I thought it was going to be
Hmm,
with the rain.
it's interesting. Gonna have to see if that. I mean,
So yeah,
now that I worked for them, I wonder if they're gonna do it more often on outdoor venues exclusively.
mm.
Dorsey's still the only mate we know of that has been to every single Foxborough jam.
I actually did meet someone there that's gone to all of them as well.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, it was like someone's mom and himself. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
cool.
Sweet.
All right. So what are we on the topic of Foxborough? Dorsey, do you want to go through results?
Sure, let's do it. So first, we're starting off with JCB racing as always. Well, first, Power Rush making its competition debut, and of course, got a sweet intro coming out with Camden Murphy. So let's start it strong because Power Rush Camden Murphy gets the racing win over Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, getting the first 12 points of the night. Moving on to the two-wheel skills challenge. Of course, it's a little bit of a slump because it's a little bit slick out there, but a couple of people uh, did quite well in the slick dirt. But your winner, shockingly, is Tristan England and JCB Digatron. He always wins the two-wheel skills, and he does a cool little combo move on the front to the back. So there you go. And I think the highest score was like an 8.3. I'm trying to think of the top of my head. I'm not even looking at the results.
It's
But
eight.
and then moving on to freestyle. What?
It was an 8.124.
Oh, 8.1, even less than I thought. So
And he
yeah,
beat out
HTC two-wheel skills.
and
What?
he beat out Crazy Train, who had an 8.113. So that was pretty close.
Yes. I do agree with the winner though. I think Tristan did deserve it slightly more. But moving on to freestyle is where I don't agree with the fan judging in this one. Your winner was Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. Jamie had an amazing save, was on the roof of the truck and managed to somehow save it on all four BKT tires. But I think the rest of the run was a bit okay. I think the winner should have been Bryce. My only thing is Bryce had a lot more air. He had the backflip, he had the cool little kickflip that he does, but this time off the 8-pack, which was awesome to see. And man, I think Jamie definitely deserved top of the race still, but I think Bryce definitely should have gotten the win. But getting the overall event championship on its competition debut with 30 points, it's Camden Murphy and Power Rush.
Yeah.
So there you go. Camden Murphy starting off strong with the brand new Power Rush truck. Again, 30 points. I know Bryce was like second with 27. And yeah, it was a good showing for a few guys. Unfortunately, Deidre Ballard and Megalodon, this was like a last minute change or something. I don't know when it changed because I've been offline for quite a bit. I didn't even know about the change till I was there. And I'm like, oh, so Jamie isn't running. Perfect. So that truck just would not work for Deidre, unfortunately. Of course, Rain probably had to deal with it, but apparently she even had trouble even getting out of pit party. So that right there should have been seen before the show. But yeah, unfortunately, she couldn't race. She came out on the 2-wheel, did nothing in freestyle. She did one jump. It stopped 3 different times in the run, and she was off. That was it. So that was a little bit of a shame. And
You
man,
did get to see John
Adam,
Kohler.
I did. Yes. How did I forget about this? John Kohler making his Monster Jam debut. What a way to do it in Foxborough. Behind the wheel, Brutus. Great to see that identity back in the Jam show. And he did very solid, I think, in freestyle. Going out first, had a nice, cool little power wheelie, or a slap wheelie, I mean, on one of the runs. And I think it's all up from here from John Kohler. Maybe he gets full time next year with Team Scream. I don't know yet. But Adam Anderson had blew a transmission, I guess, during 2-wheel skills, and he still went all out only in first gear in his freestyle run. Had the biggest height, still hit the backflip, and the truck turned off on him when he hit the backflip and slowly went over. And I'm trying to think of other highlights on top of my head. Cynthia had a good run. Jim Kohler had a fantastic freestyle. Was the first one to hit a backflip. Unfortunately, Playing Crazy, one hit, and or not one hit, that was Tristan, but Playing Crazy, unfortunately, hit the jump on his third hit, and the wheel exploded and flew out of there, literally.
Dang it,
And
Montana.
Tristan England pulls a Tyler Meniga at World Finals and does one little jump, wasn't even that high, and the front right axle just breaks. And that's how Foxborough ends. What a sour note that was. But
Wait, that
I
was the
say
last
overall,
freestyle?
that was the last freestyle was Tristan.
Dang, dude. Wow.
The freestyle order, I will say, was a bit odd.
Yeah,
I
Adam
didn't like
Anderson
it.
going 6th?
And then Deidre 7th. It's like, okay, maybe we're just pulling names out of hat at this point. But
What, the
yeah.
World Finals 23?
Yeah, unfortunately Tristan did one hit and the front right axle, tire, everything just explodes on him. So that's how Foxborough ends on that note. Congrats to Jamie on the freestyle win, to Tristan on the skills, Power Rush Camden Murphy on the racing and overall. And man, I can't wait for Foxborough next year when it rains for the 5th year in a row.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Foxborough looked like a time. Also, one thing to note: there's something in the air between Camden Murphy and new debuting trucks, especially getting their first competition wins. That being Anaheim 2019 when he started off and debuted in the Stadium Series 1 with Bakugan Dragonet getting his first race, believe their first racing win. I don't remember that show exactly, but he debuted Bakugan and immediately got a win. Debuts Class Crusher in 25, even though he actually got the first win the week after, and we San Diego 3, I think. He got the first overall for Classroom Crusher there. And then, of course, for Power Rush, he already gets a racing and overall win on its debut show at Foxborough. So something Camden's that good, I guess. Also, the other thing that was noted from someone is that Power Rush was actually running a wider axle housing that they might start implementing the trucks again, which was actually cool to see. And actually, altogether for Power Rush, it looked very nice. It looked more. It actually looked more to a Indy car or F1 car, but
It looked really nice in person.
it does look really nice. I like that too. I really like just the whole thing about Power Rush. Other motorsport teams involved with monster trucks. It's like a perfect mix, really. And the custom body, they really knocked that out of the park. They really knocked it well out of the park after I also got to see that back at World Finals. But,
and it was also Sparkle Smash's first time ever competing in Foxborough.
Oh.
Really?
That was a thing. Yep.
I mean.
Oh, and
that was a thing.
You obviously went to Pit Party, right?
Yeah.
So did you have to scan the QR code to go see Adam Anderson?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Cause I know they had that with Tyler Miniga at a few events.
I was
So
like
that's cool.
the fourth person in line for
Oh,
Adam.
nice.
I didn't scan anything. I missed one person, unfortunately. It was Deidre.
Probably.
Well, that you didn't miss much there.
Probably didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but Chris was there. Chris Kohler was there. Of course, he was supposed to be driving, and I'm assuming they just want to give John experience, or they had all their trucks there, is what I was told. Like Axe and Mayhem were all there because West Lebanon's only 2 hours away, and yeah, I didn't know Brutus and John was driving until like that last night that I randomly saw in a YouTube comment. So that was a nice surprise.
On his debut?
On what, John's?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because, of course, it was slick out there. But his two-wheel was interesting. He did some type of sky wheelie combo and just flipped it over on the in the middle of the. I forgot what the ramp is called. But you probably know what I'm talking about. The giant ramp in the middle.
The step up or the ski jump.
Yeah, the step up. And freestyle, he went out first, and I thought the track was a bit slicker when he went out first, of course, but I thought he did pretty good for freestyle. And racing, he had to go and face Adam Anderson in his first race, so that didn't work out too well.
Nice.
But he did get a bye in round one, so he got points there.
Okay, very nice.
All right, so great weekend in terms of trucks. Foxborough really wasn't all that bad. It was just a lot going on as well. Power Rush, great successful debut. We'll see how it goes later on. But time for the shows we have this upcoming weekend. Starting off with Glendale, Arizona for the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, of course, with the West Coast Tour. Cleveland, Ohio, for also Hot Wheels with the East Coast Tour. Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live not under the Glow and Fire gimmick. They will be in Porto Alegre, Brazil, as they are going to start off their first 8 stadium shows in Brazil. So this lineup will be including Bigfoot Rebecca Schnell, Bone Shaker Chris Keys, Gangster Faith Freed, Mega Rex, 2 of them with Chris Miguez and a TBA driver, Shane Freed, Rhinomite, 2 Skelosauruses with Nick Miguez and also a TBA driver, and Tiger Shark with Tyler Groth. McMinnville, Oregon, for the Monster Truck Nitro Tour with Carolina Crusher Paul Craighead, Rampage James Owens, Werewolf Stanley Hernandez, and Wild Thing Brian Leach. Green Up, Illinois for Monster Truck Bash with Godzilla Ryan Holman and Rescue Racer Josh Holman, and his exact same lineup from Manassas, Virginia. As both shows also have 2 TBA slots under those 2. Clubber, Texas for Monster Trucks Maniac, Crazy Heifer TBA, Chris Davis Fire Hazard, Ghost Rider Johnny Davenport, King Crunch Dylan Finley, and a TBA driver for Nitro Hornet. Augusta, New Jersey, with KSR Motorsports, Brad News, Charles Bass, Brandon Duro, Killer B, Joe Jenkins, Playing Hooky, J.R. Susock, and Web Slinger, Shane Noblin. Monster Truck Insanity Next Level Tour in Ogden, Utah, with Mechanical Mischief, Josh Baumgartner, David Tucker Next Level Truck, and 2 TBA slots. Brookville, Pennsylvania for Renegade. Hurricane Force, Stephen Thompson, CJ Ritu, a Stinger Unleashed, and Virginia Giant Cliff Valve with 2 TBA slots as well. So overall, a 5-truck show. Burlington, Washington for the Malicious Monster Tour, as they will also be in Crescent City, California. Elbows Up, Joe Briggs, Identity Theft with a TBA slot. Mixed Up, Gavin Sell, Rockstar Bill Payne, and Spitfire Nick Jones. TBA slots across the Crescent City show. Medina, Ohio for the County Fair show. Also including Hurricane Force, Stephen Thompson, and Playing Hooky, Jerry Seasock. Listed out so far as another 4-truck show with 2 slots yet to be listed. Great American Truck Bash in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Geronimo Reincarnated, Rob and Christian Poutre, Shane Grinseth, Metal Monsters, Tosaurus Rex, Tyler Marcomb, and Gage Bursey with an unnamed truck so far. We'll see. He'll be driving
Oh, yeah.
weekend. Motorsports Promotions ATR in Monroe, Michigan. Against the Grange, Brad Shipper, American Outlaw, Brandon Overmeyer, Bustin Lewis, Ron Nelson, Lone Eagle, Brandon Pizzo, Predator, Alan Pizzo, and Relentless Chris Rogers. Contu Cook, New Hampshire, for 2X Monster Live with Jacqueline Hyde, Corey Kindle, King Sling, Jeremiah Perez, Rowan Rex, Mike Nugent, and Shark Bite with Dan, the man, Dahlgren.
Yeah.
Lowell Valley, New York for Monster Trucks Unleashed, Black Stallion, Mike Waters, Crush Station, Greg Weckenbach, Higher Education, Cruz de Hoyos, Iron Warrior with an unknown driver, TBA slot, Overkill Evolution, Mike Waters Jr., Lumberjack, Zach Wickenbach, Toxic, Corey Snyder, and War Wizard, RJ Turner. Crown Points, Indiana for the All-Star Monster Truck Tour with American Scout, Colton Kaiser, Clean Boost, Craig Christensen, Kraken, Nick Pagarulo, Misfire, Brooke Pagarulo, and Unhinged with Caden Morris. Helena, Montana. There we go. Mega Promotions. This will be, so far it's listed only 2 Team Throttle trucks, as those will be Kamikaze, Ben Christensen, and Vendetta, Mike Christensen. There's 4 more trucks but yet to be listed. West Plains, Missouri for the Toughest Monster Truck Tour with Dirt Crew, unknown driver, TBA. A lot of TBAs here. Jurassic Attack, Preston Collins, Maximus, Jared Smith, Smashosaurus, Trip Jones, Tailgater, Tim Jones, and Velociraptor, Preston Perez. Oakland, California for Monster Jam, as we'll be seeing a regular West mix of West and Freestyle Mania drivers here. So we're going to be seeing Bailey Circuit, Brianna Mahan, Earthshaker, Alex Barton, Ultra Loco, MJ Solorio, Gravedigger, Wesley Anderson, Jurassic Attack, Tim Hall Jr., Sparkle Smash, Chelsea Van Cleve, Thunder Wars, Carson Williams, and Velociraptor, Travis Hall. Freestyle Mania, the first for the East Coast this summer, as we'll be seeing a interesting lineup. So we'll be seeing this time around Classroom Crusher under Gary Schott Jr., El Torloco, Armando Castro, Gravedigger, Kristen Anderson is back in the fold. JCB Diggertron, Tony Oaks, Deidre Garner is set to drive Megalodon. Zach Garner, not driving Wildside this time. He'll be driving Monster Dalmatian. Caleb Bliss, Sparkle Smash, and Jamie Garner will be driving Zombie. And then, of course, Monster Throwdown in Fowlerville, Michigan. Awesome lineup in the Fowlerville Fairgrounds. So we'll be seeing Avenger, Jim Kohler, Axe, Joe Foley, Blockhead, Darren Basil, Brutus, John Kohler, David Alford, Dirt Crew, Frostbite, Kylie Kent, The Haymaker, Chucky Pocken, Crazy Train, Triton Robbins, Lomas Madness, Athena Kozel, Mayhem, Chris Kohler, Playing Crazy, Montana Robbins, Psycho Circus, Mason Rife, Terminal Velocity, John Zimmer Jr., and Uproar, John Zimmer Sr. So interesting lineups, awesome shows, especially Fowlerville. It is an awesome lineup itself. But and also just here, we won't have to do the top 3 for any of the shows here. We'll just not do anything for them. We'll just announce them. But
Gary Schott, clean sweeps.
Zach Garner, Monster Mutt Dalmatian,
Talk
the
about Gary.
combination of all time.
Talk about Gary Shaw Jr. I know we all know he drives hooligan, but under Overboard Motorsports, he does really well. He actually fits. He
He
really
had
fits well
he
with
had
the
good
team.
freestyles.
Yeah,
He sent it in
I don't know.
Savannah.
yeah, and also, who was it? Bray. He said that on and off the track, on the track, like he is a great driver, right? Awesome freestyle. So you guys said off the track. Uh, what do you say exactly? I think he's he's like funny on social media, which is when do you get to see drivers be funny uh on the platforms? Like he liked the wheelie bar. He liked a little bit of dirt off the wheelie bar last weekend off overboard, which is funny. This guy's got comedy. He's a comedian, I'll tell you that. But yeah, Gary Shaw Jr., a great driver. Seems like a great person off the track as well. So he really seems like he fits the bill here.
Can we just see how he does in Classroom Crusher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is all the shows we have this upcoming weekend. Like I said, we're not doing the top three this time around, but it is going to be interesting to see a lot of things like Zach Garner and Dalmatian, Garner and Zombie. Let's see if Deidre Garner and the Megalodon truck finally will get to work. I was about to say that. I think it's time for them to get a brand new truck for Deidre because it seems like that truck itself, even with John Gordon behind the wheel earlier this year, it had a ton of issues. It didn't get to come out for Denver. Like Dorsey said, they couldn't pull out from pit party. So maybe it is
Yeah.
time for a new truck as well as for the Black Pearl truck. I know Cole Bernard is no longer the team anymore, but I think it's time for a new one. But it seems I don't know who's exactly driving that one right now. I don't know if it's Gary or
What a
Dalton.
crazy few weeks.
Yeah,
Dalton's now with Overboard. Cole's gone, and I'm like, holy crap.
yeah. No, we covered that the last couple of episodes, but yeah, crazy when we randomly found that out. Just
I found that out during Foxborough, and I'm like, oh, that's why Dalton's with them now.
yeah,
And
Because
now
Cole's
it's
gone.
interesting. It's interesting to note that the Monster Jam season kickoff show or the preview is about a month and a half from now, speaking today. So interesting to see what Jam does with the lineups, especially the independent side of things.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see if we get Dalton and Zach in the same tour. We'll see what's gonna go
I
on
have a
with
feeling.
Team Throttle.
I have a feeling. I was told. I'm not sure. It's certain that apparently Gardner's going to be running three Feld and then Wildside. So my prediction is probably two of them are probably going to do Freestyle Mania next year.
Huh.
Oh,
But
interesting.
That's my prediction.
it's also curious to see what's going on with Team Throttle. Uh,
Yeah,
Regardless
even
what
that.
happens, please Tim Hall Jr. in stadiums.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
Do it.
Or Barden.
or
Yeah,
just
or
all,
Barden. I'd
or
be happy
just,
with any of them.
or just all of the guys in there. They did great this year. Just put them all together. But
Three
yeah,
team throttle monster.
but other than that, I think that is it. Is there anything else we got to cover?
Not really, man. It's going to be a good week of monster truck action, especially at the Fowlerville World Finals.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like a great time. I know Brett's excited for Fowlerville. He has to see Sam.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I think that'll be it from us here. Also, on the main accounts, while we're on the topic now, Steel Time Sports League celebrates 7 years of since its debut. We started off back in 2019 under the Monster Jam Steel Times video game. Now we're under the Beeman G Beeman P series, which from what I heard, they're gonna keep it like that from now on. And sure, uh, which also, by the way, if you guys are any of those drivers or anyone involved with that, and if you still want to talk about how things work in running those series as that leagues, come and hit us up, and we'll get you on the show. Talk about that because I know we got to talk about you guys specifically. Now we're on the 7th year anniversary. But yes, STSL has been almost out for a decade now, which is weird, crazy. But yeah, it's crazy how far ways we come along. Also, the podcast itself is only about 4 years old. The concept initiation was about 5 years old, 5 years ago, but we didn't start till about 4 years ago. But we didn't get
That's
more hosts till
insane.
like 3 years ago. So yeah, we're selling a lot of anniversaries here. We would be celebrating.
That first episode was insane.
Yeah, we would be celebrating 5, I think, next year. So yeah, we both all have come a long way as BMP and the podcast. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. So without further ado, don't forget to listen to us at SDSL Off the Track on Spotify and YouTube. I upload regularly weekly. Don't forget to listen to the World Finals recap me and Jeremy put out. Don't forget to follow at SDSL Steel Time Sports League on Instagram and YouTube. I have no clue what their leagues are doing right now. I think they're on a little break, little off season. I don't know what's going on exactly, but yeah, follow more for that. Also, don't forget there will be merch in the links down provided in the description below, both on Spotify and YouTube. But other than that, for Nafajan Dorsey, I'm Lane Flores and we'll see you guys next time for some more Monster Trucks. See ya.
Yeah.
Great person.